up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So we're going to a quick overview of Styanax's new Augment Intrepid Stand today. This thing is extremely popular already, and you can just slap it onto the old Styanax build I've been showing for months, and it works really, really well. So we'll be going over that today. Basically just going over what this does and how you can use it. If you enjoy these types of videos, we do daily Warframe video uploads. Make sure you're hitting that sub button. Also to the live stream channel. I'll be live tomorrow with probably the last day of the wolf farming alert. Also, I don't really have much time today, so we're going to make this a pretty quick one. There's also not really much going on with this augment. So if you watch a bunch of my previous videos, I've been using Nourish Styanax ever since they buffed Nourish on Grendel. The helmet ability is really good on him. What this will do, it gives you a increased viral damage on weapons and some abilities. It gives you a AoE viral explosion when you're damaged, with this build 670 damage. It gives you an energy multiplier from all sources. And if you remember, Styanax's third ability, Rally Point, gives energy regen to himself and teammates. So that energy per second right there is multiplied by Nourish to give you like 30 energy per second or something like that. You could even use Xenoric energy regen from the focus tree to get a bunch of energy regen from that instead. By the way, this all works on your teammates too. I think, all that Nourish does, energy multiplier, explosion damage? Yeah. So it does quite a few things, and what it ends up turning out like, let's just drain all of our energy here. Okay, just gonna cast all these abilities. Almost out of energy. So what happens is you get to the point where you can just, drop a Xenoric bubble, and the Xenoric bubble goes crazy. You can use your third ability to stack on top of that Xenoric, and your energy regen is going nuts. This is nothing new. This is ever since they buffed Nourish, this is how it's been, and I've had multiple videos of this on my channel, but now we have a new augment called Intrepid Stand. Every enemy hit by the javelins of your fourth ability will give you overguard. Also, like everything else on Styanax, it also gives your teammates overguard too. It gives them half the overguard you would get if you hit an enemy with your javelin. And the javelins for your fourth ability count. You throw tons of javelins with this ability. So it scales with strength, it scales with duration, all this kind of stuff. So you want the mod for a lot of different stats on Styanax. Now thankfully Intrepid Stand does go off affinity range if you're trying to buff your teammates. So you don't need range for this, but you do want range for your Rally Point, for your Nourish, for your Thorough Strike, and even for your final stand for the explosion radius of the javelins. So yeah, Intrepid Stand right here, it gives overguard. If you don't know what overguard is, it's a relatively new feature for frames where they will get some gray health on top of their energy bar, or rather on top of their shield bar, on top of their health bar as well. So they cannot have their shields or health damage before the overguard is broken. This is an idea I've recommended a bunch of times in the past, and I'm glad they finally added it to the game. Now the nice thing about this is since you're throwing so many javelins, you get so much overguard that you have like thousands and thousands of overguard on top of this, and they can stack up infinitely basically. So as long as you have overguard going around, you can just keep spamming and spamming and spamming. You get a 0.5 second invincibility when the overguard is broken. You have so much overguard, it's probably not going to get broken. And don't forget, underneath that overguard 0.5 seconds, you have normal shields too, because Rally Point, the third ability of Styanax, gives you shields on kill. So that's why we go on from one of the arcanes called Molt Efficiency today. As while overshields are active, you get increased duration. Or rather, while shields in general are active, you get increased duration. Since we have overguard on top of our shields, we will not lose our shields very often. This will be a free duration mod. And we definitely don't need Energize as we have all that energy regen. I've got Power Donation on here just for team play. I don't need this much power strength on Styanax. But, I was just thinking, since I'm buffing my teammates in so many ways, give them some more power strength too. But if you don't want to do that, you want to do more solo, you can throw in Steel Charge, or like Growing Power even would probably even work to give you more power strength. I just go Power Donation because it's kind of funny. And yeah, I'm buffing them so many other ways, give them some power strength too while we're at it. So this is a new must-run augment on Styanax. It makes it where he can be very, very tanky. And, on top of all the things we were already using on Styanax, he was already like a meta support for certain missions with all those different buffs he can provide. Easy shield gate, easy energy regen, extra viral damage, and I even have the mod for it with all this Nourish stuff. And he also has Armor Strip with his Thorough Strike, which is a very good helmet already. And yeah, I've used him. I've actually requested for Styanax as a support in endurance runs in the past, and this will just make it even more. He's cemented as even more of a good support for endurance missions, as the things he's providing are all things that are useful for endurance missions, such as iframes, energy regen, and viral damage is just good. So very nice things on Styanax here. Now, the question is this worth doing call missions to get Styanax for? I would say if you have the option of either getting the Styanax frame or getting the Styanax helmet, that's going to be a really hard decision. It's going to come down to you as a player. I would say overall, the more useful thing is probably the helmet at this point, because this is really, really good. But also, like, you know, do you want... It's actually a hard thing to say. I don't know. Like, to me, the helmet is more important because it works on shields and armor, on Demolist and, like, everything, basically. But, you know, looking at the footage right now, this looks pretty darn good. Like, this works on, like, basically every mission in the game, too, as long as your enemies hit with your javelins. So, let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think? What is more important now that we have Intrepid Stand and Styanax? Is the frame more important, or is the helmet more important? Because I told a lot of people the helmet is more important in the past. I don't know, looking at this footage right now, it looks pretty impressive. I'm kind of having a hard decision here. So, just going over every mod on the build. You might have some questions about that. Let's go ahead and show that right here. By the way, Styanax can slay down Acolytes really fast. So we've got power donation, as we are, you know, basically donating all these buffs to our teammates. Might as well give them some power strength as well. It reduces our power strength, but we're already overkill on power strength at 268%. You need only about 200% power strength to get the full armor strip from Tharo's Strike, so keep that in mind. Everything else that we're going above 200 is just to make it where Nourish is more powerful, make it where our Intrepid Stand is more powerful, and make it where our Rally Point is more powerful. So you technically only need 200%. You've got Prime Sure-Footed on here. Prime Sure-Footed is actually not needed, as you are immune to status while you have Overguard up. Now, if you think your Overguard will always be up, like it should be on this build, feel free to remove Prime Sure-Footed, but I just never take off Prime Sure-Footed. If you were to put a different mod in that slot, I'd say maybe go with, you got lots of options. You could go for more range with, like, Cunning Drift. You could go for some more power strength with Power Drift. You could go for more movement speed, like Lightning Dash. You could go for more sprint speed with Rush. It's really up to you. But I never take off Prime Sure-Footed, to be honest. And the rest of the stuff, we got Power Strength here, Power Strength here, Power Strength here. We don't need Efficiency because we get so much energy regen that we'll have infinite energy anyway. You got range for hitting more enemies with our abilities. You got Prime Flow, so we have more of an energy pool to keep spamming abilities. 155 energy is quite a lot for an ability. Rolling Guard, just in case everything goes wrong. You technically don't even need this. And then Prime Continuity to make it we're in our fourth ability for longer, so we can throw more spears. But we get some more efficiency, or we get some more duration from Molt Efficiency and more power strength from Molt Augmented. The weapons don't actually matter, but yeah, this is a very ability-dependent setup here. So if you're fighting Limbo Acolyte, like right there, he turned off my fourth ability, so I actually couldn't, like, you know, armor remove him. I couldn't throw out the spears, but, you know, once I got out of range of Limbo, he was just done for. So yeah, very, very powerful frame here. You know, his fourth ability cannot be cast endlessly, but this is actually patching up one of his main problems, which was when he died in his 4. This literally was made to prevent a big problem Styanax had after they changed his 4, him dying his 4. He used to be able to cast his first ability and second ability in his 4. He no longer can, so they made this augment to patch that change up. Alright guys, that's basically it for the video. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you tomorrow with another one. Maybe Dog Days tomorrow, we'll see. Alright guys, enjoy. Later.